Good evening, televiewers. You're welcome to today's edition of Prime Hour on My Media Prime. We this day, as usual, are going to be looking at how to make money, how to become rich and become influential, so that we can live fulfilled lives in our families, in our communities, and in Cameroon, Africa as a whole. Today, we are going to be looking at how to create wealth. What does it take at our individual levels? What will it take for you who is watching me to become rich? What will it take for your wife to become rich? What would it take for your child to become rich? If you're a student, you're a worker, whoever you are, just get your pen, paper, pencil, because you may make errors and you will have to erase when Mr. Buji and the rest are talking, to get down those tricks on how to become excessively rich and influential in our communities. Today, we are going to be discussing this with the experts who are in the house already from Teke Global. We have Mr. Buji Leancine, who is always there to tell us how to make money. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Leo. It's always a pleasure to be here and to share with our wonderful audience. And today is going to be an impactful one. Looking forward to learn from you as well as share knowledge, because I'm realizing that our audience are getting more powerful every day.
Okay. We are also in the company of Mr. Neba Paul. He is an ambassador of Audacity of Success. Audacity of Success took place in Douala last week.
Yes,
good evening, Mr. Neba. Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Hello, televiewers. I am so happy to be here today to give you a review how Audacity of Success was a success, and we are going to be sharing ideas as always, and I trust in you to contribute so that we will exchange ideas and empower each other.
Okay. We are also in the company of Miss Lornarica. Great to see. She is the marketing manager for Shep Academy. They call her Miss L. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening to everybody. I am happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to us having a pleasant time sharing new ideas on how we can amass so much wealth for ourselves.
Mr. Teke was supposed to be here, but seemingly he's still caught in traffic. We hope he joins us before the program runs out. I promised to present this award that I received last week in Yaoundé. I was awarded by the Guardian Post. So I said I will present it. I was supposed to present it on Tuesday. I did not, but I said, okay, let me use the opportunity in the middle of great minds to say this is what I got as an award. Once again, thanks to you, because without you guys, we won't be encouraged, inspired to do the work we are doing. So I will just dedicate this to all of you who watch us every day, who are sending messages, contributing, and I can only say thank you to you all. We are going to start our discussions on how to create wealth at the individual level. I'll start with you, Mr. Buji. They say having money, becoming wealthy, will require a mastery of what money is all about, because it will require a habit on what money is all about. That habit the habit that you are going to demonstrate will determine whether you are rich, whether you are going to be poor, whether you're going to be sad. That habit is going to determine whether you are happy, and a host of others.
Yes, Mr. Leo, thank you very much. And before I continue, I must say congratulations for your victory for the award.
This award,
it is well merited. It is well merited.
We thank the audience.
Yes, that is, of course, you are making a difference at an individual level, and that's what we are talking about, wealth creation from the angle of an individual. Then you see nobody is going to come and save you. You cannot wait on the government. You cannot wait on your parents. You cannot wait on one rich uncle somewhere to make you wealthy. These things start from you. And when I talk about starting from you, it starts from your mind. And if you're watching us, you need to answer some of these questions. If you've looked in your family around you, in your community, and you've not seen any rich person, then it is a challenge for you and a call that you need to be the first rich person in your community, in your family. Don't say your father was not rich, your uncle was not rich. In fact, no rich person has ever come from your village, so you cannot be rich. So the question is, how can you become rich? So you need to examine where you're coming from so that you will know where you are going to. And it starts from what? The mindset. You must acquire the mindset of a wealth creator. You must be able to learn and relearn. Learn the game that money people know. Learn money habits, good money habits. What is it that the rich people do that the poor don't do? That's at an individual level. The government will not definitely teach you what the rich people do and the poor people don't. Now, if we are looking at it at that direction, how do you actually acquire these wealth creation skills if you cannot inherit them from somebody?
Just to note that they say our habits are the cause of our wealth. Our habits are the cause of our poverty, happiness, sadness, stress, good relationships, good health. Whatever we are is determined by the attitudes or the habits we adopt.
Yes, the attitudes we adopt. Okay, look at it. For instance, wealth creation goes with money. So let's put it this way. If you are that type of person that if someone gives you 1,000 francs, the next thing that you're thinking about, where do I spend this money? If somebody gives you 1,000,000 francs CFA, the next thing is, oh, I want to buy a good shoe, I want to buy a good dress, I want to spend it in the club. So that it's your own decisions. Those are your personal decisions and they affect you. And people who, if you don't have good money habits like saving, they say if you don't put your money to use, the money is going to leave you. So if you're that type of person that money is rounding your hand and you cannot do anything with it, then it will go to the person who
knows how to use
it.
Okay, Mr. Neba, they say to be able to create wealth, you have to do what they call automate your finance. Automating your finance will require you plan for your finances to be on auto pilot. Once you're receiving the money should already have a clear destination. Yes, without which it may be very difficult for you to manage what comes in.
That's very true, Mr. Leo. You bear with me that the main issue here is not that we are not earning money, but the question is what we do when we earn the money. Because if you are watching out there, just take a pen and paper and you write how much has passed through your hands this year. And you try to question yourself where that money has gone to. You begin to think as if there's somebody that's actually swindling your money out of your pocket.
There's one mommy in
the village who is swallowing your money. There's one neighbor, or usually in Douala we talk of rats and landlords who are swindling our money. Of course, no, nobody is swindling your money. It's just because you don't have money habits. When your money enters your hands, you don't have plans that you predetermine that money will go to. So when the money enters your hand, as money is what it is, when it enters your hand, usually the brilliant ideas that you had initially will usually wipe out. And then when you squander the money, before you know it, those ideas will come back and you start feeling like somebody had robbed you of your money. So before you start getting that money, before you're planning that money should enter your hand, start planning where that money is going to go straight as it enters your hand. And when it enters, don't say, no, let me buy a bottle of drink and take and swallow first before I am going to put part of this money in what I was planning. Because the truth is that when you start taking that one drink, the next thing is that your friend is going to come around and you're going to offer a drink to your friend. The next thing, another come around. Before you know it, that money is going to get finished. So when you are planning, if you think that you are going to create wealth and grow wealth and live a wealthy life, if you don't have money right now, start thinking like somebody who has money. Start planning on what you can do with money if the money enters your pocket. And once it enters, no matter how small it is, start doing that thing that you initially stated that you want to do. Because if you're waiting that the money should accumulate before you start doing that thing, of which you don't have those habits that would permit you to accumulate money, that money will always pass and slip in between your fingers and go to those who understand and can better manage money.
Okay, Miss L, we want to create wealth. We must have this investment attitude. Investment is the most effective way to build wealth. You don't need so much to invest.
in creating wealth, the part of investment cannot even be overemphasized. It's
Okay.
very important. Money is the one thing that enjoys moving up and down. Like, it's very movable. It loves when it's moving. Now, if we want to be able to have more, to be able to amass more for ourselves, we have to learn how to multiply it. And the act of investing involves the product of multiplication. If you want to be able to multiply wealth, you have to learn how to invest. And when we're talking about investment, I discovered that so many people have lost the definition, they misunderstand the definition of investment. And they think, like, when we talk about investment, it's just maybe to give your money, like what we do in our company in Tex Global. They feel like, okay, that's the only type of investment you can do. There's investment in real estate. The fact that I decide to put money, let's say in a buying lands and selling, it's a means for me to be able to make back more. Now, the aspect of investment is that you put in your money in something that can be able to work for you when you are not there. Trust me, you cannot be able to get so much money by just depending on the salary that you're getting. A few days ago, somebody said something to me that we keep having expenses, but our salaries are not changing. That if you want to depend on your salary, you will die. I heard this from a teacher saying that if you depend on your salary, you're going to die. Meaning that I have to invest. But now, so many of us are afraid of investments because we're being too overprotective with money. Money that you struggle to keep will always run away from you. Money goes more to people who can multiply than to people who can keep it. It goes more to people who can send it out. It's like what our boss used to say, that when you send out money, it goes and then he invites his brothers and his sisters. Imagine that you're keeping the money with you. It has no means to step out to meet its brothers. We're talking about brothers, we're talking about other currencies to come in. It has no opportunity to meet other people. Now, when money sees that, okay, you're taking good care of it, and that you are sending it out into other avenues, why it's moving up and down is like networking. It gets to meet other figures. You send out 5,000. When 5,000 is going out in the marketplace or in the investment spot, it's meeting 10,000. It's meeting 2,000 francs. It's meeting 1,000 francs. And I begin to tell them that, okay, this person that sent me out is capable of managing all of us. And now the 5,000 begins to invite his brothers, inviting the 10,000, inviting the 2,000, and now these other figures will want to follow that 5,000 because they know that if they get into your hands, you will still give them the opportunity to step out. So that is how money works. If you want to get money and just keep it, thinking that, okay, it's when I'll keep it that I'll be able to have so much. There's somebody that challenged my mind one time. It's somebody that I know that has money, and one time we're talking, he said, do you know that if all my investment platform closes today, I'll be broke? And I said, why? He said, because I don't keep money in the bank. I was like, what do you mean by I don't keep money in the bank? I know all of us invest, but at least some goes to the bank. And he says that he just feels that whenever he keeps his money in the bank, he ends up eating all of the money. Because he feels like there is already an emergency spot. It becomes a spot where when a problem comes up, he quickly runs to it. But when he looks at his investment, he's like, okay, it's already directed, like what you spoke about, autopilot. He already knows where this money is going to. So he feels like nothing should just make him just remove that money like that and use it anyhow. So if we want to get so much wealth, we should be able to get to the level where we move from just getting salaries to the point where we save and to the point where we invest. When you invest, you have enough to save at the end of the day. That's the mystery about investment that so many people don't understand. So investment is very important when it concerns creation of wealth.
Okay, we want to create wealth. I hope that you are taking down the notes wherever you are watching us from across the nation and beyond. But also, if we want to create wealth, we need to stop or ditch some of our some small daily purchases, like you move around, you want to get coffee, you want to get this, you want to get the nyama is passing, you get it for 700. You move down, you see Mami Eru, you take it for 2,000, and the money is going. Huh?
Yeah, I think last month I was actually teaching at Shape Academy, and we're talking about bad money habits, and what you've just mentioned is just one of them. So now there are some habits that you must avoid if you really want to create wealth. For instance, shopping when you are bored. Yeah, there's some people that when they are bored, they shop, they just go shopping. I know a lot of friends who actually do like that. You also have people who shop for status. Like I just want to let me buy this thing. People are buying the latest phones, the latest iPhones, you want to buy it. People are buying the latest dress, you want to buy it. Those are the things that remove money from your pocket. You don't just shop. When money comes into your hands, what is it? What do you do with it? Then again, there are some little things that are very minute that you might think like chewables, snacks. They look very small, but if you know the amount of money that you can spend on them for over a month, you just say, okay, this day I just need to take ice cream for 500 francs. If you can take ice cream for 500 francs every let me just say every afternoon, in a month you must have spent 15,000 francs. That's just for your ice cream. What if you take ice cream, you take small drinks, maybe you take another drink for 500 francs, that's already 30,000 francs, and other little things that you might not know that are removing money from your pocket. At the end of the day, you realize that you are putting yourself into more trouble. You also need to avoid borrowing, because there are some people that if they have a problem, the next thing is they are borrowing. And which means now at an individual level, you need to also avoid being emotional. Because I myself was a victim at the time that I thought that I could save the world. Just everybody. If you call me that you need 10,000 francs from me, the old me would have just said, okay, this my friend is really crying that he needs 10,000 francs. I don't have 10,000 francs, but because it is very difficult to say no, I call another person and borrow 10,000 francs and I give the person. So if with those things you realize you entangle yourself, because there are times that you cannot say no. In one of the classes that I attended, taught by Wango Boris, I think he will be in Shape Academy on the 30th, on the 30th for a free class. Now, he said, if you will help people, there is always set aside a charity fund. That's the first time I learned about that. Set aside a charity fund. If people call you that, oh, I am sick, okay, look, if you still have something in that charity fund, give them. If you don't have it, it's okay. The other money that you budgeted was not meant for those things. So you must write down a budget and stick to it, which means money for food is money for food. Your transportation is for your transportation. So any other thing that is coming up, it is not in your budget. So it is not part of your, it's not your business. It's none of your business. If someone invites you for a wedding, within that time, if you see that if you want to be wealthy, you don't have to do it because you want to prove any point. You must do what your finances are capable of carrying you along. Because if you go as far as borrowing or stepping into the finances, like the ones that you've dedicated, that this one are for your tithe, this one are for your children's school fees, and you take the money to do another thing with it, you are creating a hole in your finances, and you must feel it. Money when your bills are demanding, they are not reasonable.
Okay.
Bills are not reasonable.
Okay. He raised an issue, Mr. Neba.
Yeah.
I think it is also common with all of us here. That is actually spending for what we need absolutely, and not. There are some expenditures that are wasteful. For example, I am Mr. Leo. I'm a journalist. I use a lot of phone. So I will require a phone that would match what I do. But we have many persons who essentially use the phone in either Facebooking or WhatsApping and calls. They buy phones for 300, 400,000 francs. You see somebody who lives in a quarter and says, I don't have money. But the pair of shoes that he buys is 60, 70,000. He buys and keeps there. And lots of such expenditures.
Yes, you must agree with me that we have lived society to push us to live by their standards and not by our own standards. Because most of these people that buy these things, as you were saying, they don't do it actually because they see the need or because they like to do it. It's because they want to maintain a particular status in the society. That doesn't matter. Wango Boris once said, it is useless for you to be buying stuff to impress, buying stuff with money that you don't have to impress a world that doesn't care. You see that most of this time when you are buying these things, you are buying so that when you wear and pass, people should actually see and appreciate that, okay, Paul, you are looking so great today, Mr. Leo, you are looking so great today, but they don't actually care. Because somebody, if you ask those that you were trying to impress what you wore 2 days ago, they'll not even remember, but you were wearing that for them. And something on the other hand, I'm so afraid, sincerely, let me talk to the young people out there. I'm so afraid about the depression that might hit us in the next 5-10 years, because the rate of peer pressure, the rate at which social media is pressurizing young people out there who want to keep the standards of what they see on social media, is going to push them so much into depression. I know what I'm saying. I weigh what I see on social media and what I see in real life, and it is scary. You know, people take what they see on social media to want to live it like it's real life. I mean, of which is social media is some kind of stage where people just go and stage there, play a particular scene there, which is not their real life. But young people out there are doing everything possible to look like those who are staging, and at the end of the day, they put themselves in a lot of shitty situations as far as their finances are concerned, just because they want to maintain a status that is just some kind of it's some kind of air that is some kind of vapor that is going to disappear in the nearest future. But mind you, I will always say that the kind of things you do online and see you want to maintain, it doesn't matter, but offline you have the consequences. As you see those things online and you try to maintain it, you involve yourself in getting money here and there in trying to maintain that status. Time will come when those holes that you dug will be pulling you. The person you borrowed from will be pulling you. Maybe the school fee money that you took to buy a dress or a phone because you wanted to keep the standard with your friend, the deadline will reach for you to pay that school fee. And of course, Mr. Buji rightly said, those things, they don't have emotions, they don't care. Once the deadline reaches, you have to pay.
Why I'm raising this, Miss L, is that we are talking about wealth creation. And almost every young person will tell you today that I don't have money to start business, I don't have money, but go and check out their wardrobes. Maybe they have 10 pairs of shoes, each shoe costs above 40,000 francs. You look at the dresses, wonderful dresses, 35,000 francs. You see, I don't have capital to start a business or to save, but the human hair, the lady has maybe 5 of them, each cost 100,000 francs. That is wealth that is kept somewhere, and without any profit, it generates nothing. But why are we so ignorant that the wealth we seek after is beside
us? See, there is something we learned in school that I feel like it's one information or one knowledge that even if we want to garbage every other information, we should not garbage. And it's simple: opportunity, cost, and scale of preference. I've told people always, I said, that is one information that I will not forget all through my days in school. This little thing that we learned about scale of preference and opportunity cost is very important when it concerns wealth creation. The highest set of persons that I know that spend in this life are ladies. I won't lie. I'm sure there's so many ladies who are watching me now. Don't say it's not a man talking, it's a woman like you talking. It's a lady like you talking. See, ladies spend more than what you could ever imagine. At one time we were talking, and then somebody said something. You're not using an iPhone and all that. And I said, I can afford. But what do I really need it for? I don't even know how to operate it in the first place. And they were laughing like, in this model, I said, yes, I cannot operate it. I don't even know I should stress myself getting an iPhone. And then when they started talking, I said, check all the ladies in university now. About 95% of them are using iPhones, but none of them know the cost price of the phone they are using. That's what I said. And I said, this is something that they could be able to convert, to be able to empower themselves, but they are doing the wrong way. So the problem is, we don't even know what we need first. We don't know what is necessary. We learned about our needs and our wants. We don't even know what we need. If you know what you need, trust me, you will know how to arrange your finances. You will know what to do. You will know what is needed at the time. And most of the times, we get to distribute our finances to things that cannot produce more money. Whatever cannot yield more is not necessary. It's just mere luxury. And of course, it's okay to live a luxurious life, but the problem is that let the luxury come out from an income that can still have some to be saved and some to be invested. Meaning that if you want to live a luxurious life, when you take your capital, calculate that if I get this stuff, how much will be left that I can save? How much will be left that I can invest? If there is no balance, forget it. And if something is not needful at the time, don't invest in it. And now some people say is that they don't have capital. Okay, away from that, one time we sat here on set and I mentioned that finance, like money, is just a part of capital. There are many other things that you can do. There is social capital that many people are not using. I think that's the most priceless capital. Social capital and your attitude. It's very important. Now we were talking, and then somebody said something. He said that he had somebody wanted to buy something. I've forgotten the real story. He said they wanted to buy something. Okay, I think it was a few days ago. We're watching Ubonking, and then he made mention of something like this. We're watching Ubonking together with our boss, and then he said something that they needed some supplies that he could not supply, but he said he can connect somebody, and that he got somebody and connected a person to do the supplies, and he said that he had 2 million naira from that little transaction. All what he needed to do was to know the person who needed and then know the person who was supplying, and that's it. And 2 million naira made him where he was seated. But most of us were not willing to be able to use our senses wisely. Even the people we want to associate with, we associate with people who cannot add to our lives. People who have no idea about business, who are going nowhere. They have no destination. Even the Bible says that can the blind lead the blind. Seriously. Now, you already know that you have your own areas that you're blind at. And now, you are following somebody who is blind as well. There is no need trying to compete, especially ladies. There is no need trying to compete. You're competing with nobody. The only competition you have is yourself. So there's no need for you packing things that you could be able to convert them into assets. Just piling them, and then you are sick. People wear expensive hair. People use big phones that they have not eaten. Like they are dying of hunger. But
you're using a phone of 500.
Yes.
800,000.
I don't know
you say
why.
I'm poor. I don't have money.
I don't know why you're working with somebody's land. You're working with land in your hands. And I'm telling you, supermarket in your hands. There is no need. I'm focusing more on the ladies on this part I'm talking about. There is no need doing all of that.
The ladies need to start thinking of creating wealth. They are already wealthy. Most of you are already wealthy. You have more capital than myself, sincerely. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Only your cap alone can get me a visa to Dubai. That I've been looking for a while now. Chris, good evening, writing from Douala. Good evening to you, Chris. Yes, if you have more, just give me. I'll be happy. Mr. Leo, kudos to you and the team from Tex Global. If you have a passion for farming and you want to do it a business, where do you start from? I'm Neba Nzoliv, writing from Liberia. Can you just write to also? There is Mr. Teke's number under the screen. Just write to them or call after the program. They'll explain better to you. Good evening, Mr. Liu. It's Thierry from Douala. Please, members of the panel, does it mean that one works only to continue investing? One needs to take care of the body. That works for it. Yeah, but I think that we take care more of the body than investment. Yes. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the crew. Congratulations for your meritorious award. Honor is gratitude. Honor is inspired us to do more and others to be inspired. God bless you and your Media Prime team. Evangelist Felix Egbe Eno, writing from the United Arab Emirates. Thank you very much, Evangelist. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Congratulations for the wonderful work you have been doing. Salif, writing from Yaoundé. Thank you very much, Salif. Pirlo, writing from Kumba, says, wow, congratulations, it is a reward for a good job. More grace. Okay, Pirlo, good evening to you and everybody watching from the Green City, that's in Kumba. Let me take one or two messages before we continue. Good evening, Mr. Kum and your panel. I'm Daddy Clay from Boya. More grace to Tex Global and Shep Academy. I know the investment opportunities with Tex Global and how guaranteed my investments with Tex Global. Can you just call the numbers on your screen, or you write to me after the program? I will forward their numbers to you. I don't know whether I want Mr. Buji's number or Mr. Neba or Miss L. Just indicate them. Good evening. I love this program. Larry is writing from Moliko Boya. Good evening to you, Larry. Kudos to you, Mr. Leo. Biaka, writing from Boyu. I don't know where Boyu is. Good evening, Mr. Leo, and a big congratulations for the award. You deserve even more than that. You are doing a great job indeed, and may more of such awards keep coming your way. Kiyam Lamesh, writing from Bamenda, Abakwa. Now, we are talking. I want us to really talk to the young people. Everybody is craving to have money, and we are talking about how to create wealth. We sit and look at people like J4B and say, "Wow, this guy has money." We look at my boss, who has all this. They say, the boss has money. Dex Global, they say, is doing well, and those of others. But you have most of us would receive money. We may receive money 20 times a month. Yes, but what that money has as used for us is spend. That is, you are waiting for money to come so you can buy a phone. You are waiting for money to come so you can buy a dress to use for a day. Is that not where the problem is? That is, we are not waiting for money to come to keep, to create wealth, but the money is meant to spend.
Mr. Leo, let me share this quote from Mr. Teke Samuel. He says, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So, what does this mean? If the dress you're buying doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. If you actually want to build wealth, you must be conscious about the things that you do. If you went to a party and spend 100,000 and spend 500,000 there, if it's not going to bring anything to your pocket, it doesn't make sense. So, the young persons must understand.
Excuse me, Eli, can you please get through to Mr. Teke through Skype? Try if you can get to him through Skype to join our discussion. Seemingly, you could not make it through the traffic. Yes.
So, when you look at it, you realize that with wealth creation, you must understand what is an asset and what is a liability. So, let me just break it down for our audience. An asset is that which brings money to your pockets, and a liability is what removes money from your pocket. Like the human hair that you buy for 200,000, that's a liability. It removes money from your pocket. The iPhone that you have, that you snap beautiful pictures and you post, and people like, those are liabilities. So anything that removes money from your pocket is a liability. And if you want to build wealth at an individual level, you have to start acquiring assets, which now I will challenge those who go and look at your wardrobe. If you have a lot of expensive dresses there, sell them and buy business assets.
That is wealth now.
Yes.
And we say we are poor.
Yeah.
Yes, I spoke to a young man and he told me that, say, can you buy my suit? I said, wow, it means that you're understanding what is the meaning of an asset. I told people that normally, make sure that at least within every 2 months, acquire a business asset. I have a group of young persons that I mentor. And I've told them, do you see this? Every month, every 2 months, make sure you come and acquire a business asset in Tex Global. You see, because you have investment packages that for everyone. It's not like for the rich. No, everybody can do it. Even students, I describe some packages. Packages between 100 and 200,000 I describe as student packages. So that is, they contribute an habit of buying asset or building asset that will eventually bring wealth to them. Like I always say, if you want to build a house, like you want to create wealth, Robert Kiyosaki says your house is not an asset, it's a liability. Your car, except it's used for business purposes, it's a liability. So you must be able to differentiate between those things that will make you poor and the things that will make you rich. And for you to be rich, you must continuously build wealth. And one of the wealth creation principles says, to create wealth, you must increase your means, not reduce living beyond them. What does this mean? Don't think that you'll be comfortable living in the village because you're afraid of paying rents in town. You will never create wealth that way. Don't think that if you actually take responsibility, let me just say, like in the case when someone who wants to get married, if you get married and you were not able to take care of yourself, you will not be able to take care of the family. But there is also one thing, that those things are going to automatically trigger you to start working hard. You start developing ways on how to create that wealth. The central idea is build wealth. Also learn this. Learn what is called the power of leverage. What is leverage? Leverage is your ability to be able to earn more and more while working less and less.
My problem is that
Now,
when
okay,
money comes, please, we already have capital. There are people who are that's 2 million, 3 million a year.
Yeah.
But we struggle to show off that we can use the best, buy the best TV, we can buy the best this.
That's liabilities.
Yes, you know.
But also worthy of note is an iPhone for 800,000 francs, a car and the likes could be also important. But if you are using them professionally to sell yourself, or maybe do business so that you can make big money, rather than having these things and then you are sleeping in the house.
Of course. Let me take it down to the lowest addiction that every young person is addicted to. The time, which is the most valuable asset that we have, the time that we spend today on watching TV and on social media, and the money we used on weekly basis, on monthly basis, on yearly basis to buy data. If you are watching out there, just go down, get a pen and a paper, as Mr. Leo said earlier. Write down how much time have you spent since you started using social media. How much money have you spent buying data? And then you ask yourself, how much have you generated in this activity of posting pictures and coming back 30 minutes after or 1 hour after to see if people have commented or people have liked. If you spend more buying data and spend more time watching TV and be on social media and without generating income, then you have a problem, a big problem. World creation is so far from you. You talked about people receiving money and not using it for anything. I want to talk especially to students out there. These are the highest people that money passes through their hands and they don't have any accountability for it. You know, they'll call this auntie and lay a complaint, call this uncle and lay a complaint, call daddy, call other brother, with the essence of what? Spending. Nothing else to spending. And what are they spending for? Just to look rich, of which in reality they are broke. So the essence, if you must be worthy, the essence is not for you to look rich, to show forth amongst your peers that you look rich. The essence is to actually look rich, actually to be rich. Look at the wealthy people in the world. When you see Jack Ma, how are they dressed? Just when you see Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, how are they dressed? Are they that flashy? But when they want to talk of their worth, that's you want to look at them physically and look at how much they are worth, and then that's a big gap. But our young people today are pushing forward to present themselves to look like they are very worthy, of which actually they are not. So if you're watching out there and you are really looking so rich and you are having an empty stomach, then you have nobody to blame. You have not started leading yourself to the direction of wealth creation, because it is useless for you to show off out there and come back and sleep in a leaky roof. You are the one who understands your pain. It's needless for you to show off out there that you are living so well and you come back and you sleep with an empty stomach. You, this uncle big boss in the Carrefour, where you are giving beer to everybody, it is useless for you to give that beer to everybody at the Carrefour. Why you've not given food money for your wife or your children? That is not the essence of life. The essence is for you as a husband to generate income and grow your family, make sure that they live a comfortable life, so much so that you can live in harmony and be able to have a cool head that can permit you to generate more income for the family. Because when you are not able to take that responsibility, because the small money that enters your pocket goes to the beer parlor, that is chaos in the house. And the next thing is that maybe your wife is discomfortable, your child is discomfortable, and certainly your children might now start getting into other things in the society that are not going to get to societal use, just because they are not able to live the kind of life that they want to live. Not because their father is not earning money, but because Papa is earning money. But when it's 20 feet, Papa start borrowing beer in the that major drinking spot in the quarter, because they know that salary is going to come very soon. And when he takes the salary, he doesn't go home, because he doesn't know. He knows only about spending.
His finances are not automatic. That is, he has not programmed himself.
He has not programmed himself. No, he has programmed.
When I receive 100,000, it goes for investments. It goes for savings. It goes for this. Yeah.
The truth is that he has programmed himself, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
okay.
Ignorance too. Ignorance is also playing its part. in that when it gets to the point where money is getting to your hands and you're not informed about about areas where you can be able to put in money and have more. That's where all of this happens, because most people are not even informed. They don't know so much about investment. And my problem with us is that this information is now, should I say rampant? Yes, it's now everywhere in the country, but many people are not willing to expose themselves to such informations. Trust me, if you're informed about systems that you can be able to get involved in, when money comes, that's the first thing that comes to your mind. And the way success is, when everybody in the family gets the vision of success, even your children will be willing to sacrifice their pleasure to see their father do a good investment. I've seen that happen beside me. I've seen that happen even in our own personal home. If you are that type of father, that type of a leader, that type of person who can lead their own personal self in such a way that you are able to make others understand that this is what we want to do. You maybe see, like what he's saying, being a husband or being a mother or whatever, you call people and tell, okay, this is the vision now. All of us are supposed to do this. I want to invest in this. So please, I'll have to cut down on this expense. Maybe this month, my daughter, you will not have your monthly allowance to this amount this month because I want to do this investment. Trust me, when everybody sees another money coming into the family through what you're about to do, they will understand with you. But the point is that we are not even informed, and we don't want to get informed about.
Yeah, the issue is isn't it also because we do not have specific money goals per year? The number one reason most people don't get what they want is that they don't know what they really want.
Yes.
Nobody actually sits down to say, this is 2021. By the end of the year, I want to raise 20 million, I want to raise 10 billion, there are no goals set.
Of course, a lot of people start their hair and they have no goals. They don't know what they want to achieve. And some people know, but they don't put in steps that will push them towards that goal. So someone will say, by the end of this year, I want to make 10 million. You're like, okay, how? And then some people don't even know what they want to get at the end of the day. They don't have goals. If you have goals, there's something about money. Money follows ideas. The moment you start thinking about an idea comes to your mind. Okay, I want to do this. Immediately the idea comes. It has a way it starts attracting money. It's like what we talk about, the law of attraction. When you're sending signals to the universe, immediately you think of an idea, and now you have a costing for that idea. You think about it so much so that every force in the universe begins to act in such a way that the capital for that idea begins to come in. But now some of us, when we have this capital coming in, we forget about the original idea in the first place. We forget about what we're thinking about before the money came. As you come, some people are excited about money. When money gets into their hands, they're very hot, like they're agitated. They want everyone to know that, okay, I have this money with me, and they want to just spend and all that. So goals has an important part to play. If you want to be able to live a life that is productive, that is successful, then you should be able to have goals. And mind you, when you have these goals, don't say I want to have 5 million and you're not willing to put in some money. Every goal needs a funding and has a return. But some of us, this is what happened. Going back to what you talk about investment, Mr. Leo, it's the same thing that somebody has aligned some people have aligned their goals for the year. They know what they want to achieve. Tell them now that put money, fuel that vision. Nobody's willing to fuel the vision, and they're expecting returns from the vision. How? They will go just get from the book and start working.
They're not investing.
They're not investing. And you want to get so much, but you're not willing to put in anything.
Nobody wants to sacrifice.
You have to fund it. Then when you fund it, you get returns, and we keep funding, we get returns. That's how the circle runs.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo, and to the entire Dex Global crew. Daisy writing from Kumba. Good evening to you, Daisy, and to you, Didi Banderas. Hello, Mr. Leo. Congratulations on your award. You deserve more. And please, how can one invest in Dex Global? I'm interested. Thanks, Esther. Tester, I will send you Mr. Buji's number. You call him and talk with him. Good evening to you, Esther. Good evening, Mr. Leo and the panelists. Please ask the panelists how to create wealth for 0 franc. They talk about managing money, whereas you can't manage. Invest what you don't have. Okay. Equally, what about the poverty cycle most of us find ourselves in? How can we break through the poverty cycle? Fritz is writing from Limbe. Fritz, what Fritz is asking is exactly what I wanted to ask you, Mr. Buji. Fritz, just get a pen and pen and paper. I'm sure you're going to learn. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Good evening to all your invitees there. With you, sir. I love the program. Julius writing from Mato Village. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the panelist, Miss L. That's wonderful. Please keep talking. This Slay Queen Seka writing from Yaoundé. This is OXX trainee. Okay, OIC X trainee. My regards to all the brilliant panelists, Mr. Liu. Kudos, good job and great ideas, Mr. Liu. Jerome Collins is writing from Austria. Good evening to you. Liu, congrats. Where is the envelope that accompanied that award? I beg for credit. Gideon is writing from Bumenda. Gideon, I don't know whether envelopes accompany awards in Cameroon, except you tell me something about that. Mr. Liu, the economic states that money is what money does, which means the ability of money to acquire wealth. Money is wealth, not for those that worship it. Ibako from Melongo village. Okay, good evening to you, Ibako. My question to you is that it is a mentality, like he just said from Limbe, that there is no money, so how do we create wealth without money? That is, people don't tell themselves that they deserve to be rich. They don't have that attitude of how rich people think, and most of them just believe that, or most of us in our communities, let me not remove myself from it because it is a habit that is also common amongst most of us. Most persons believe that they are not worthy to get great worth. Is that not where the problem is?
Yeah, the problem actually starts from the individual level. The state of our mind, what we think that it's wealth creation. What is it that is going to create wealth for us? Now, look at it. Somebody just said creating wealth from nothing. I don't know how we are going to do it, but I would devise a way that will make the billionaire mindset compulsory for everyone to read it.
Please, you want to get rich? Call me. Actually, I'm taking a contract to sell the billionaire's mindset. So just call me. I'll supply that.
Yeah. Okay. As we are just saying, I'm sure I'm going to ask Mr. Teke to give that contract to you fully to take care of that. I don't think you need money to distribute the billionaire mindset, but you need to be willing. You need to understand that there are people out there who need this book. They want to read this book, and if they read this book, they are going to make money. You're going to make money because they want. How do I get a copy of the billionaire mindset? And definitely, you call Mr. Liu. Mr. Liu connects you to the book, and he makes money. I said nobody should be poor in the connected economy. There has never been a time to be rich like now.
The guy who is writing from Limbe, I'm not an expert in the domain, but I'm sure that there are many shops that are selling things in Limbe. Walk up to 5 of those shops. Tell them that I want to help you in selling. Each article you sell, you make a commission. As simple as that.
Yeah.
Okay. Miss L just talked a while about Urban King. I love watching him because he's very disruptive as well as Mr. Teke is. So I was watching him today on something he said when he heard about maritime transport, maritime security. Sorry, he used to be like, "Oh, this maritime security." Anytime he's opening the internet, he sees maritime security. Now he started attending seminars on that. When they are talking about Lagos, he's listening. When they talk about the Gulf of Guinea, he's quiet to learn. So anything that they talked about maritime security, he was very interested in. He had to learn to have more information about that. Then one day he started posting about maritime security. Somebody called him. Can you have a company? He says, can you offer me this service of maritime security in Kenya? I told him that, okay, yeah, you can. I can offer. He says he could offer that service. Now he called a friend in Kenya and said, you own this company. There's a US-based company that wants us to cover security, do maritime security for them, and the contract is $150,000. Obon King says he did not know what he did not understand the difference between $1,000 and Naira. So at the end of the day, he connected the buyer, the person who needed the service, to the service provider. And then the man said, look, I'm going to give you 10% of this deal. And when they send his own 10%, the man called, okay, the deal has been closed. I'm sending you a 10%. So he had a Nokia Touch. This this small, you remember the old Nokia phones. So the man said, I've sent you this amount of money. So he has to send the money to him in Naira. That was about 7 million Naira. 7 point something million Naira. So he took his Nokia Touch and punched the thing, and his Nokia Touch error. So he could not calculate the money. He could not calculate. That was 7 million. When the contract was executed, he had 3.5 million as his own additional 5% commission on the contract. So Obon King was richer, 11 million Naira richer. 11 million at that time was around 33 million francs CFA. So just imagine, for connecting somebody to a service. So you cannot say you are poor. Be exposed to information. You must be exposed to information. Go here in Douala, go to Marché Central, go to Ancien Troisième. They are brokers. Well, they just meet you. What do you need, auntie? You say you want to buy a television. They take you to that shop. They already have arrangements with those people. No words. They just bargain. They leave you bargain your price. As they are leaving, the shop owner settles them. You see people who go home with 100,000 for just connecting people to opportunities. Needless to say, we have businesses that if you link people up to, they definitely give you commission.
Let's move over to Mr. Teke Samuel, who should be on standby. Yes, he's there. Mr. Teke, you certainly have been taking notes. We are trying to express our worry to the fact that many persons really want to create wealth, and they say they are poor and without opportunities. But from this panel, we think that there are opportunities and that they can become as rich as they desire.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Liu, and good evening to everyone in the studio and all our viewers. This is actually amazing, and especially when a question comes up like how to create wealth from zero franc. Now, a lot of people think that is not possible. The basic reason is because people are more money conscious than wealth conscious. So they think if they think money, that means they are trying to create wealth. So there's a little difference here. If you become more wealth conscious, money follows you. Money in the term of fiat currency, that means the paper we see, the coin and all of that. That is not actually the whole thing about wealth. The money we talk about here is not actually wealth. So if we talk about wealth creation, we're talking about you being able to go back from the source. And the source of wealth creation has nothing to do with money, has not to do with franc or sefa or naira or dollar or rand or anything. It has nothing to do with that. So, first, what are you supposed to do? I always like saying this. 2018 September, I had both home and abroad as a company and as an individual, 90,000 francs in the bank. And that money was not withdrawable. It means it was even lesser than initial deposit because the account I was operating on then was supposed to have at least 250,000 francs as initial deposit. But having 90,000 francs, it means the money is non-withdrawable. But how did we get from 2018, September 2018, with 90,000 francs to the level where we are now, where we have been able to generate billions? If we're looking at money as a startup or as a springboard for us to be able to get to this level, we will never arrive at this stage. So what are you supposed to do? I want to take first from this point. I was just writing while everyone was talking. From the point of selling, you should be able to understand how the world connects to each other. During the Audacity of Success, I brought up a topic and I said, where can we find money? So a man with 0 franc is supposed to understand first where he or she is supposed to find money or where he's supposed to find wealth. And one of those places I mentioned that you can find money, I said you can find money in people. So if you understand that first, what are you supposed to do? If I can find money in people, next question to you is, do you stay in an environment where you have people around you? If the question is yes, how then do you dig money out from this? Or how do you sniff money out of them? That's where sales comes in. So you begin to figure out, what can I sell? If I don't have a product, I don't have a commodity, I don't have a service that I can offer, do I have someone who has a service or a product that they offer and they don't know how to sell? Then I have to go train myself. I have to learn. I have to force myself to go talk to someone to buy a particular service. Make a negotiation on how much I earn as commission. Truth is, the best, most common way to create wealth or to make money from 0 franc is your ability to learn how to sell. And that was why I was teaching people that there's a difference between publicity and marketing. So when you get these two together, you go out, publicize, market, sell someone's product, and you earn commission. Without anything, nobody wants to charge you for going to sell their products. For example, the billionaire mindset. There is a commission that is attached to anyone that sells the billionaire mindset. And I told them on the Audacity of Success, I said, this book is in the mission of creating at least 5 billion francs by December 2021. And out of these 5 billion francs, 30% of 5 billion francs will be distributed among the people or anybody who will take part in the distribution of this book, in the sales of this book. So you cannot be looking for money to come and sell billionaire mindset. All you need to do first is your willingness and your ability to avail yourself into that mission. So people are confusing it. They generate ideas, they have ideas, they think they need money to execute their ideas. You don't need money to do that. All you need to do is, there are several ways you can create money without any franc in your pocket. And number one of them is look for people. If you can gather people around you and offer them what they need, they will give you money. Number two, you can create a product. You don't need money to create a product. A product can begin from your ideas. Generate an idea that will give you a product. If you have a product, what are you supposed to do? You need now to learn how to exchange your product to money. If you learn the law or you attend a school of exchange, you understand how you can give someone your product or your value and the person gives you money. These are all primary models on how anyone can make money from any level of their lives. Nobody on earth grew up or was born with money in their hands. Even those that were born in wealthy homes, there are certain things they needed to do. They needed their mind to enable them know how to manage the money they met in their lives or in their families. That's why it's easier to see someone from a rich home getting broke and suffering from poverty, because they left their mind with them in the womb before coming out of this world. Poverty, the major cause of poverty is that a lot of people left their minds in their mother's womb. We must learn to grow with our mind. That is where everything begins. It's not money. It begins from your mind. So anybody can become wealthy, can be a billionaire from any stage of their life, with or without physical currency.
Okay, Mr. Teke, thank you for that intervention there. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Just your cap alone, I'm almost fainting for it. Shout out to all the viewers and to you all there in the studio. I'm Tiku, writing from Cyprus, from North Cyprus. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I want to talk with Mr. Teke. Does he has a WhatsApp number? Mr. Teke, is he still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, he says from North Cyprus, he says he needs your WhatsApp number. I don't know whether I should give you a number or that of Miss L or Mr. Buji.
Yes, so any of the numbers that's on the screen right now, they can write that, and that's okay.
Okay. My brother from North Cyprus, hope you got the message. This one says, good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm from Edwin from Kumba. I love your program. I have something to say. All the policemen in Kumba don't want to see us with phones. If they see you looking good, they will just say you are a scammer, and they will start asking you for money. Some of them are moving door to door, okay? Make use of, invest the money, so don't look good with the money. Good evening, sir. I think here in Cameroon we are scared to be creative because of too much documents, e.g. high taxes. Is Cheji Gabriel writing from yes, Cameroon? But this is something that was raised even yesterday because we had a related topic yesterday. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I wish to ask, if I invest 200,000 francs as my asset, what can be my interest? It's Kingsley writing. Kingsley, can you get to the Text Global team? I want to stay with you, Mr. Teke. This question, ask if to invest. Mr. Teke, are you still there?
I'm here.
Yes, many young Cameroonians, we spoke yesterday about the matricule syndrome in Cameroon, where almost everybody thinks that to make it in Cameroon, they have to work with the government, and we're struggling to explain. And almost everybody gave the excuse that it's difficult to create a company, taxations, and a host of others. And I said that I would like them to follow this program so that they can understand what it takes to start a company in Cameroon. You have people register companies. How complex is it? Yeah.
This is the problem we have, is a lot of people are ignorant about the Cameroon system. That's the truth. There are certain laws that are in place, that the government has put in place to help small and medium enterprises to grow, to thrive, businesses to succeed. But most people are not aware of these policies, probably because they've not made research, or secondly, certain people that are sitting on these policies are actually making money out of it. For example, I got a call from someone. I think they work in one investment promotion commission, which is an arm of the government that enable, especially people in the field of agriculture, to import goods, products, chemicals, or machine into Cameroon at a discounted rate at the level of the customs. Now, most people don't know this. I just got a call. I never knew. I've been getting things into Cameroon, all our products, and we pay a lot on custom duty. And somehow, I got in contact with someone and said, hey, this thing has been existing for years, and you can also benefit from it. And thank God for that good Samaritan. So I got it, and I discovered that we've given out a lot of money because we're not aware that there's such policy moves that is in place in this country. So first, our people need to understand, need to get back into the law, the code of Cameroon. Your area where you function, there are certain code and there are certain laws, there are certain policies that bind the area where you function. Go and learn it so that you don't become a victim in the hands of the officials that are in control of that system. The government, I like saying this, most times the government is not really the problem. The officials that are handling certain positions are the cause of most of the complaints we have. And the reason is because the average African doesn't have time to go and study how the law works or how the law functions. If we do that, we'll be aware of certain things that happen. So in the area of all of those tax and everything is clear. For example, if you run a company that is in the Northwest and Southwest right now, there are certain things you need to follow to give you a tax-free policy that you can do your business in the Northwest and Southwest without actually paying tax. You can be tax-free or you pay a discounted price because of the crisis. But most businesses are not aware that such a thing is happening. The government has put that in place for those that are running businesses in the Northwest and Southwest. Question is, how are we supposed to do that? We need to find out. Registering a company is never a problem in this country. It's not. At the level of Limbe, you can get your company registered within 2 weeks, maximum 1 month, with a sum of 450,000 or 400,000 francs even, and do all your documents and everything, and your papers to be right. You have your companies registered. It's not a problem there. The policy is straight and smooth, but then, like I said, if you don't understand, you fall in the hands of lawyers, you fall in the hands of certain people who tell you, hey, they are going to do this thing for you, and everything is difficult, and they start stressing the whole process for you. The government didn't make it that way, but the people that run the system are not helping matters. That's why we have to learn. We have to study the code, how it works. if we do that, it's going to be very easy for us. The system is flexible, but people managing the system, they have made it cumbersome for their own greed. So what are we supposed to do? Let's sort out for knowledge on how all of these things are run. I was talking with someone at the Labour office. I told them, I said, I think at the level of all of these departments at the government, they need to be running maybe seminars or TV programs and educate the average citizen on how some of their departments run. Like at the Labour office, there are certain things that business owners are supposed to do to protect themselves as business owners from very gullible employees. But most business owners don't know. And so sometimes you stay in your office and an employee gives you a convocation from the Labour office because of something that happens. Meanwhile, if you have been able to protect your right, that will not have happened to you.
Okay.
And when they open up a lot of things to me, I was like, wow, I never knew things like this happen. So let us go and make research. Business owners, let's go and make research. All of these things are easier to get. They are not difficult to work with.
Okay, we get back to you, Mr. Buji, out here with us in the studio. We also are unable to raise the amount of wealth that we desire because we do not take advantage of some of the gifts that come our way, birthday gifts, and you sit and some money just come into your hands, and because it is not what you work for, the first thing that comes to your mind is, let me go and spend it.
Exactly, Mr. Leo. Money, at times we say we spend the money, but do you know what actually happens? Money acts like a spirit. When it enters your pocket, it starts like it's pinching you. Do something with me. Are you going to go and spend the money? Will you go out that night to celebrate just because someone gave you a gift without your expectation? But for those who practice good money habits, when money enter them, they actually, what do I do with this money? Not allowing the money to tell you what to do with it. Because I bet you, if they just give you 100 million now, if you are not careful, that money would drive you from your house. It will drive away sleep from you because you are not prepared. You also lack, the individuals concerned might lack what you call financial intelligence. Go and say, financial intelligence is the ability for you to be able to manage your basic things as concerns finances. Now, when you lack this, I have some quote I say, money doesn't solve problems, intelligence does. Which means that if you give somebody 100,000 francs who is financially intelligent, he might solve a problem that somebody with 1 million francs CFA cannot solve it. So, after having a party, maybe a birthday party, and friends gather, they shower you with money, what should you do with that money? For me, I will advise you, invest it. Look for a platform and invest. Seek for knowledge. Because if you don't have knowledge, as the Bible says, you will perish. You need to have knowledge and have the right things to invest in. Don't hear rumors that people are making money from this and go and put your money into it. You have to study. Just like Mr. Teke saying a while ago, you have to learn something. If you want to do something, find out. In Cameroon now, we have a lot of opportunities where you can invest. Text Global is just one of many, but you must have the right knowledge. Don't hear that your friends are telling you if you put your money here, you're going to make money, and you go and put your money there. Do your personal research. And it comes back to the fact that how many of you read? We're having a conversation. How many of you read? When was the last time you read a book? There's some people that since 2021 started, they have not read anything, not even a newspaper, and you want to actually move ahead. No, you cannot go that way. You realize the average rich man reads thousands of books. For instance, I for one, there is no way a week can pass without me reading a new book. No, how can it happen? Why do I have to read? I constantly read to keep myself updated. What is it that Mr. Teke did that made him a billionaire? That's why, before I met Mr. Teke through the billionaire mindset. I bought the copy of the billionaire mindset. I read it. I started reasoning the way he's reasoning. That's why when we met, we could converse. I already had his state of mind. I know what he wants. When I started getting things like, well, it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense, doesn't mean that this man likes money too much. So I realized that it's somebody that you cannot waste his time. If you say you are meeting him for a business appointment, let it be a business appointment. You have to be there on time, and you need to start reasoning like a billionaire. What is your idea going to contribute?
So what is your idea going to contribute? Yeah, you raised something that was already in my question. It's that a serious person who wants to create wealth should spend at least 30 minutes a day reading something positive.
Let me laugh first, because that's something I've been advocating. I mean, reading is something that you can't ignore like a living being. As it is usually said, any stagnant water smells. Most people out after education, after their advanced level, after their degree, reading becomes far-fetched from them. In fact, they even promise themselves that as I'm graduating today, even a signboard I'll never read. I mean, times are changing. So much is changing, and there's no way you can be able to be relevant and attract words towards you when you don't have a relevant mind. Just imagine if you did not learn or to understand a mobile phone and an Android phone for that matter in recent times. Just imagine how much you're going to be missing because you can't operate an Android phone. I mean, some 20 years ago, these phones were not available. Some people, because they were studying, they fabricated the phones. And now, if you must be able to enjoy this phone, you have to study how it functions, and then you are able to enjoy it. That's same with wealth creation. What was giving money yesterday might not be giving money today. And for you to be able to understand what is giving money today, you have to upgrade your mind to be able to understand that this is how things are happening today. Reading is like it's part and parcel of every person. It doesn't matter your background. As far as you know how to read and write, it has to be a way of life. Constant reading, because you buy dresses to make yourself look good. You eat food to make your belly to nourish your body. For you to be able to nourish your mind, the only way to do that is to reading books, is through listening to audios, watching videos, not any kind of videos, or not reading any kind of book, but reading books that will enhance you getting to the direction where you want to go. Because when you talk about reading, okay, people go pick maybe some novels,
Charlotte Bronte,
which are the same like the TV series that they are watching and they are reading, and then tomorrow they will come and say, okay, you asked me to be reading, and I've been reading and nothing has happened. And it's not all about reading, please. It's about you reading and applying the knowledge you have acquired in your daily life.
Okay.
If you read and you don't change your usual habits, nothing will change in your life. Like you read all the books written by Robert Kiyosaki, written by Brian Tracy, and you don't change your daily routines, nothing will change in your life. And mind you, people who read and create wealth, people who are creating wealth will always like to align with people who are creating wealth. If you are going towards a rich person with a mentality to beg, if you beg one twice, the next time you will not have a rendezvous with them. Go with the mindset of contributing to them, and they will in turn contribute in your life. But if you are going to beg, mind you are
closing the door.
You have closed the door.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I just want to throw more light on what Mr. Teke says about tax-free in the Northwest and Southwest regions that could make it clear that companies eligible on the tax-free in these regions, you must be using at least from 70 to 80% raw materials. Then I ask, apart from the Supermont company in Muyuka, which other company do we have in the Northwest and Southwest regions that can benefit from this politics everywhere? Tanto is writing from Yaoundé. Tanto, I myself will investigate more on that. I will eat the money because it's live. Daniel is writing from Cape Town. Yes, Daniel, definitely, that is his choice. He wants to chop the money. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and I'm Cardenas from Guti. I love your program. The ability to be rich solely depends on the willingness to work and save the little ones we have. Mr. Liu, what about breaking through from the poverty cycle in Cameroon? I'm sure most of the rich people in Cameroon were first. They are from very poor backgrounds. Yes, they have cut through the poverty cycle. Good evening, Mr. Liu, Mr. Teke and Panisa. We problem is those around us too discouraging. Like in the Northwest and Southwest, when you say one don't need the government to make it, they will call you a black leg. I'm in Bamenda. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening. Panelists, you people are doing a wonderful job. I love this your program so much. I am so inspired by the lady's presentation. She's such a resource person. Kudos to all of you in the studio. I'm soon to start creating wealth. Thanks. Eric Boston is writing from Kutaba. Good evening to you. Good evening once again, Mr. Liu. Ngangjo Zakari writing from Idea. I wish to ask this question. Is it right for someone to save money in the bank at a primary stage of business, or is it important for him to invest the money in the business? Mr. Teke should have taken notes. He will provide an answer to that. My name is Regina. I'm from Bamenda. Can you lay emphasis more on what people can invest in? Because there are times you have some money, but you don't know what to invest in. You fear of losing the money. Mr. Teke says you should observe your community. You should know those who live around you and know what they want. Provide it to them. Good evening, Mr. Liu. It's Alvin writing from Adamawa. I love your program. Good evening to you, Alvin. Miss L. Now, we want to create wealth, but we also have to make judicious use of our time. Most very wealthy persons sleep very less. You will not find them watching telenovelas for 6 hours, so that they can show. Instead of showing what the wealth you have, you are showing people how best you master a series. I think that that is also something that needs to be looked into now.
Yeah, the importance of time management when it concerns wealth creation, time management is very, very essential. See, if you stop working, time will not stop working. If you are sleeping, time is still working, it's still moving. If you're working, you're putting your hands to work, time is still moving. You can't stop time. Even when you sleep, as in you're dead, time is still working for the people who are alive. Now, if we can be able to maximize our time and use our time wisely, it's going to help us to grow financially. The reason why we cannot even maximize time, the reason why we cannot use time is because most of us are ignorant of the importance of drawing up a schedule when we want to start up our day. So of us get up in the morning, we don't even know what we want to do. We don't know what we're expecting to be doing. So as a matter of fact, you only discover by the end of the day that you did nothing productive that day. Take note, I mentioned doing something productive. It means you can do a lot of things in the day that are unproductive. You get up in the morning, like when you want to, there is a video I watch on YouTube, 10 healthy habits to develop if you want to be able to amass wealth, to be successful. One of them is they pointed out the fact that when people get up from sleep, what do they do? What do they do? It took me time to build my morning routine. And trust me, if I sleep somewhere else, when I get up in the morning, it's already so much in me that unconsciously I do it. A lot of us cannot even manage our time because we don't even know what we're supposed to do in our time. If you get up today and you know you're scared, you know, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that, and all of that, you program yourself on how you want to do it. Time management is very essential. If you cannot manage time, you will not be able to work with the rich. Trust me. Like what Mr. Buji said, you cannot work with Mr. Teke if you don't know how to use your time. That's how it applies for most wealthy people. You must know how to use your time. If you know how to use your time, now this is it. You link your time with your activities. If you don't have activities, you will not use your time wisely. That's it. And now most of us, we draw up our schedules for the day and put activities that will not increase us in any way. Say for instance, you spend your whole day, the day is coming to an end, you're about to go to sleep, and there is nothing new that you've learned for the day. Every day that God has given us is an opportunity to move some steps closer to our destiny, some steps closer to purpose. And it takes a lot of activities, like what Mr. Teke Samuel will quote, that tomorrow does not exist for a man who does not have activities for today. Now your tomorrow is determined by activities for today. And to make sure that you can meet up your activities, to know how much time you have. Now, some people used to use this statement. I think when we're younger, or writing the GC and all that, we used to use that statement like 24 hours is not enough for me. Can God just add 2 hours? And all the like. It's a lazy man that used that word. I remember the first I used to, that was what somebody told me. Like, it's only a lazy man that would say that God add me 2 extra hours. to the 24 hours you've given me. The one he's giving you, you are not using. And I know the highest person who used time wisely was God himself who did the creation. Imagine that from the beginning of the Bible, they talk about the days he was creating, how he did it every day. Meaning that there was already a plan on how it will be done. But you want to create what you know that you have to achieve this at the end of the month. You've not brought down your activities. You've not broken down your activities into how you want to be able to achieve. And every day you don't know what you're supposed to do per day. Trust me, you will discover that you've wasted a lot of time. And so if you want to use your time wisely, I've given us a secret. Have a schedule. Know what you want to achieve. You know what you want to achieve. You'll be able to put it all together. And away from that, talking about activities that are unproductive. There are many things we do that are unproductive. Like we mentioned about watching televisions. I used to say like a joke, but it's what I did. I had to change myself away from the television for 3 years. 3 years. Because I used to love watching some telenovelas and all that. Like, I trained myself away from it. And trust me, it has gone to a point where I can never sit in front of the TV again. You can be able to train yourself like that. Because I know that there are two things that takes us out. The television and our phones. If you can walk away from these two, it will help you. The next thing is sleep. So many people sleep when they are supposed to be working. It's okay to rest, but not like you're sleeping when you've done nothing. Like you're just tired for doing nothing. You're just sleeping the whole day. People who sleep like that, they sleep till 9. Like, how do you even sleep from 1 to 9?
Actually say you cannot.
You want to get rich, eh?
You say if you want to actually create wealth, you cannot sleep as you're competing with the dead.
Yeah.
You make it and
making the land of the living. It does not work that way. Some people sleep. I'm telling you that they sleep to an extent where they can forget themselves in the sleep. Like they can carry you and move you to another spot without you knowing that. Like seriously, even in your sleep, if you're active, even in your sleep, when you are sleeping, you discover that your mind is working.
Okay.
That's how it is.
Greetings, sir. Your program is so interesting. How can someone with very big business ideas with no money raise the required amount to start the business? It's fun from fun. Please, just the number is there. Just call us. We'll help you out. Hello to everyone in the studio. Everybody talks about reading. How many books did some of our old Cameroonian millionaires read before they became rich? Some didn't even go to school. As I heard, what is essential is having capital and investing. Yes, times have evolved there. I am sure the competitive spirit that reigns today is not what obtained 30, 40, 50 years ago. Hello, Mr. Liu. I'm Buinui and owns a clinic. So as an entrepreneur, may the panelists advise enlighten me on how to grow. Thanks. I'm writing from Moi. Can you just call us after the program? The numbers are there on your screen. I will help you out. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Congratulations on your award. It is just another step of your long journey to success. I wish to ask whether Tex Global do buy business ideas. Liunga Elvis, writing from Boya. Liunga, can you just contact them through the numbers on your screen? Good evening, Mr. Liu. Your program is so educative. How do I get Mr. Teke's books? It's Mr. Archer Patrick writing from Tunga. Mr. Archer Patrick, right? Call me after this program. I'll tell you how to get a book. Anybody who needs the billionaire's mindset, that is the book that will turn your life around. Just call me. I'll hand the book to you. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I love the program and I wish to ask where can one easily have the books you are writing. Lopro is writing from Oku. Lopro, write me after the program, you get the book. Good evening, Mr. Liu. How much is the book, The Billionaire Mindset, and where do we have it? Okay, let's take a rendezvous after this program. I will tell you how to get it. Good evening to you, Mr. Liu. It's Mildred from Bankim. I want to ask how I can engage into business. What are the stages I can follow? Please ask Mr. Teke. No, just call him using the numbers. He will tell you how to what stages to follow. Now, we also need to make wealth. There is this issue of miracle money. miracle job, miracle everything. How do we create wealth in this? Because it's everywhere now. Almost every young person now is in church. We want to create wealth. How do we strike a balance? I don't know what that means.
Let me.
Everybody wants to talk.
Let me say something on
Yes.
that. The truth is this: you cannot take the place of work when wealth creation is concerned. The place of work must be there. God Himself, when He wanted to create what we are seeing today, He worked for a couple of days. That was the Almighty. I mean, it is written that He worked, and that was a result of work that He created. Creation is actually working. You want to acquire money without working. I think that's another form of expressing mental laziness. I must say that.
Okay. Yes. Church and but God blesses them. God blesses the works of our hands.
God's blessings are mine. Okay. I have my personal understanding of the word miracle.
Okay.
Miracle is more of God granting you an opportunity to use what He has given you. That's miracle for me. Meaning, if I want a miracle phone, this is what He does. He does not put the phone in your hands. He gives you ideas that will place you in the position where you can get this phone He has told you to. But this is what we understand. When we say miracle phone, this is what we understand. That we will just sit and it comes. I know somebody watching me now will be like, okay, what about this cases where we see people in the church and
Miracle
they lift
money.
up their phones,
Miracle
yes, and money
money.
comes in. Let's not forget, somebody has your contact. Okay, quick question. Do you have a phone? Yes. If you didn't have a phone, how did the money come? There is always a route for a miracle to happen. It does not just fall. Go right to the Bible. Every person that Jesus healed, every person that experienced a miracle was at a position, was at a place. But most of us, we get prophecies. And now this one thing I get very angry with. I'm talking as a believer. I'm talking as a born again. This one issue that I have with most of our pastors. You tell the Christians that God will bless them with this, and you don't tell them to position themselves for it. It doesn't work that way. If you are given a prophecy, if you tell a Christian, or a Christian gets it, that I'm going to, that the Lord said He's going to bless me with a job, it means He's saying that you should get your CV, leave your house, and drop your application somewhere. You will not sit and it just fall from the sky. Even if they call you and say there's a job opening somewhere, the person that called you should know that you exist.
I know.
So it is still networking in the center.
I know people, Mr. Buji. They have fasted. They have grown pain. In fact, in the morning they're in the church. They receive. I receive. In the evening they're in church. 1 month, 2 months. They are praying that it will happen.
Mr. Leo,
Yes.
the Bible says that I will bless the works of your hand.
Of your hands, yeah.
There are no 2 words to that. God did not say,
Bless your fasting.
I will bless your fasting. No, you cannot acquire wealth through fasting or prayer. You cannot acquire wealth through Holy Ghost fire. It will not bring you money. It will not bring you wealth.
You have to.
You
work.
have to do something. You have to work.
You go to church and then you work also.
Yeah.
You work.
Yeah.
You are praying over this. If you are leaving your house to go and hustle, pray that God should give you the right connections. I think you are in the right direction. But you cannot be praying that you just get up and go to one room in your house and you see money. How will the money come? Just as she rightly said, for every miracle to happen, you must position yourself, and there must be a connection.
Yeah.
There must be somebody. And one thing that you say, I believe that for your miracle to happen, there must be somebody somewhere who will
Yes.
trigger it. God doesn't work alone. God works through humans. That's why even for Christ to have been able to accomplish His earthly mission, He had to take human form. So let's not forget that. We must be able to understand the difference between, this is what you call the religious fanaticism now, where people we just believe anything that a man of God tells us, even the one that is right or the one that is wrong, or the ones that are fake and the ones that are genuine. Anyone tells you, before you follow God, make sure that you also acquire knowledge. In fact, the Bible actually requests that you should acquire knowledge. Because what? My people perish for lack of knowledge. So before you follow anybody, make sure that you acquire knowledge. And when you acquire knowledge, pray that God should give you wisdom.
Yeah.
Because those, apart from that, money will never appear. Money will never appear. It must. If you save somebody and you pray, God will touch the heart of that person to do something for you.
Okay.
And if I may add something, there's something you said, Mr. Leo. I also want to bring this out because we said, even in my own community, my own church community, we talk about this. Now, some people say that you have to go through the trials and the temptations and go through the process. That's how we call it. Christians call it the process. You have to go through the process before you can be able to get to the point. So they're like, okay, that's why they're spending so much time in church from morning to evening. Now it's okay. But this is it. When you're in the process, you're waiting. It's either you are idle waiting or you're process waiting. There are two. You cannot be idle when you're in the process. If you check everybody in the Bible that was waiting, don't tell us that you're not working because you're waiting, you're not doing this because you're waiting. Every person that was in the Bible, that God gave them a promise that they had to do something. Jacob was out of his home. He knew he had to go back someday, but he was working for somebody. He was doing something. Why? Building himself for what God has prepared for him. But now most of us, this is what we do. We're like, okay, he says I should not do this now. He says I should not do this now. It's okay, but there is still something he has prepared that you should be doing at that time.
God's time is the best.
No, Mr. Leo, you know something? There's something that people forget. You can cry, you can weep, you can do whatever you want to do. But you know one thing about God? God is not emotional. What happens is that God, he has principles that when you follow, any other things follow. If you want
Mr. Buji, God's time is
Mr. Leo,
there is time for everything, right?
The truth is that what I've noticed,
God's time is the best.
What I've noticed with some Christians is that they do all the prayer and fasting, and they can't connect to that source where they'll get that word, which is people. They have a bad attitude that makes people to run away from them. In fact, they are quarreling with the next person in the choir. They want to be the conductor and they want to be everything in the church.
Unequally yoked, I think that we are going to discuss that because you do business. You do a restaurant.
Unequally yoked.
No, you do a restaurant and you don't want to be unequally yoked, but everybody consuming from your restaurant. Unequally people now. Maybe you are taking taxi.
There's
no, it's a topic. It's a topic. Mr. Teke, I know you are enjoying the discussions out here. Mr. Teke, we want to build wealth. I think that I have to get more closer to you, because I know you are wealthy. I'm talking about surrounding ourselves with the right persons who are also who are having that mindset of creating wealth.
Yes, it's very important. Our circles matters a lot as far as wealth creation is concerned. But there's an error somewhere.
Okay.
When we talk about you identifying the right circles, hanging around successful people so you can be successful, a lot of people misunderstand this and they think it of just sit with them and be talking with them and wake up the next morning, sit with them, go back and sleep at home, or meet them and start looking at them and begging from them. There's a difference between hanging around people and participating with people. So when we talk about circles, we are talking about you identifying a particular set of people who are actually making it. Now, if you are going around them, go around them with one thing in mind: learning, what I call service. If you are hanging around successful people that you admire what is happening in their life, go there with one thing in mind: to serve. Number two, to learn. In the course of serving them, you will learn how they live their lives. But most people go around successful people to beg from them. That is why they can hang around them for as long as they can, yet they are still broke. Yeah. Because what they look at, they are more interested in what these people have in their lives and not what they have in their mind. If you hang around successful people with the intention of what they have in their lives, you are going to lose it. You will not be able to make it out. Even if they dash you money, you will lose it. Go around them and I will use the word steal their mindset, copy their mindset, rob them of their mindset. And that is what is going to create the difference. I know of people, I have seen people who have rich friends, but they are very broke. And sometimes people tend to accuse their rich friends. Like, how can you have this person around you and the person is broke? And people don't understand. I said something one day, I said, wealthy people are very complicated. You may not be able to understand them. So hanging around people that are wealthy is not enough. Are you hanging around their mindset? That's the most important thing. Hang around their mindset. Now, some people, even when they hang around their mindset, they are too swift, too fast enough to want to demonstrate. Their pride will make them want to demonstrate to the rich people that, hey, I have learned enough, so I can also do what you want to do. And that's why I said at the Audacity of Success conference, I said, no matter how much you have learned from people you look up to, never allow them to realize that you have known enough. Never. The day you do that, they will stop revealing their secrets to you. But the average Cameroonian don't understand. We are too proud not to be able to hide what we have learned. No matter how much you have learned from a mentor, never you allow them see that you know enough. In 48 Laws of Power, there's a law that says that you should always let your mentor know that they always know more than you. In that, they will be able to teach you the deepest secret of their lives. So hang around rich people, but don't hang around them for what they have. Hang around them for who they are. That is what is going to change the entire course of your life. We're talking about people raise issues where you're reading your messages and talking about how you can break away from a poverty cycle. See, it is just one, the word is called anger. Until every one of us begin to get angry with the status of our lives, it becomes difficult for us to take drastic decisions on how to change the course of our destiny. We are too lazy, too relaxed for success. The average Cameroonian is too relaxed for success. Things happen around you. You're not. If I talk about being angry, I don't say get angry and go and stand on the street and carry cutlass and carry guns or carry sticks. That's what I'm saying. I mean, be angry with your mind so much that you can sit down and decide to rewrite your story again. Anger is the only thing. As a matter of fact, anger is a gift that everybody is supposed to have if they must change the course of their lives. Everyone needs to be angry. If you get angry enough about what is happening in your present state, it gives you the willingness and the boldness to take drastic decisions. That's the only point where you decide the friends you want to keep, the decisions you want to take, the people you want to hang around with, the kind of things you want to do. They were talking about reading books. I said the average CEO read at least 32 books a year. That means you should dedicate your life to read at least one book every year. And someone is saying that how many books did our forefathers read that make them billionaires? Times are changing. We have a lot of competition in the world today. What made Alhaji Danfodio rich, if he was in our generation today, you won't be able to get that kind of money. People are now exposed, so you have to find out what is trending in the community and then you key into it. We're also talking about saving money. Is it right to save? Yes, as a matter of fact, savings is one of the ways you can raise.
There, we are going to continue with our discussions out here, which has to do with discipline and the fact that we have to shun unnecessary expenses on issues that are not very important. For example, there are so many things that we spend money on. Some occasions, somebody dies, you have to raise capital for a big business to bury the person.
I think, Mr. Leo, that's a cultural issue that we have to deal with. You know, there are so many people who wear suits only in their coffin. When they were alive, they did not have the opportunity to wear that suit, and those who wear the suits were there when those people were alive. You understand? We have this idea of giving somebody a befitting burial when that person does not have a befitting life. I mean, as Mr. Teke rightly said, we need to get angry to change the situation. I'm so angry about this whole issue where we throw parties, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't mourn their loved ones. That is very okay. You have to mourn your loved ones, but let's try to balance life. Let's try to give energy to where energy can be multiplied. Don't give energy to a dead point. I mean, somebody has already died. Leveraging or lavishing so much money on that person has no use again to that person or to the people who are alive. So it's something that
we should use that money for capital for somebody. So it's somebody's capital in the family.
That's the bad thing is that there are families that have never sat around the table to say, okay, Mr. Buji is smart. What if we contribute money and give him so that he can start a business? Yeah. But if somebody dies, they'll sit and say, Mr. Buji, you are the one who is going to make the coffin. This person is going to pay those who are going to dig the grave. This person is going to buy 3 crates of and stuff like that. Why can't we develop that spirit, that habit of also sitting when we need to do something that is going to generate wealth, rather than always sitting when the result is a dead end?
Okay, good evening, Mr. Liu. It's Elmin from Yaoundé. Please, I would like to have a copy of the book. Elmin, please call me after the program and place your orders. Anybody who is watching, The Billionaire's Mindset is that book that will turn your life around. We are talking about miracles, but I'm sure that this book is more than a miracle.
That's right.
I've read the book and things are changing around my life.
You're already getting the contract to distribute it.
So yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Liu. I love your program. I'm Cardinas Iyabi from Nguti. How do I get the Mr. Teke's book, The Billionaire's Mindset? Just call me after the program. You get the book. Good evening. I'm Felix from Kumba. I've read Teke's works of Billionaire's Mindset, and today I'm making at least 300,000 francs a month thanks to his works. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I like and enjoy the program. It is foolish to use prayers when common sense and hard work is needed. Miracle means doing something that seems impossible but becomes possible because of God. Janine is writing from Douala. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the entire panel. Good discussion and great ideas being shared. God is one that gives us the ability to create wealth, and this thought, the talents and gifts he has deposited in us. It is our duty to tap from this potential already available through hard work, discipline, and prayers. Pray as though all depended on prayer, and work as though all depended on work. Roland Atanga is writing from Boya. Good evening to you, Mr. Roland. Mr. Acha Patrick, you have just a piece of virgin land, no asset to cite. You need to invest. What can you do when you don't have the money? Missed from Tonga. Please, there should be somebody who can help. You provide the land, the person provides the capital, and then you both invest and you share.
Let me add something. There's something that I grew up and I saw my mother doing with a group of other ladies. You understand? Today they will gather and come and till your farm, and tomorrow they are tilling the other person's farm. That's something that
my mom did that also.
And that's how they were operating without actually using money.
Yeah, Mr. Leo, kudos to you and the team from Tex Global. If you have a passion for farming and you want to do a business, what do you start from? Okay, just write us here. We are going to help you out, please. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Please, I want to ask, what kind of business can someone do with 100,000 francs? It's Michelle from Douala. Michelle, call the numbers on your screen. I'm sure you are going to be advised. Alex says, good evening, Mr. Liu. I love what Mr. Teke just said. Hang around rich people's mindset. I will add that by saying, do not hang around rich people's pockets, but around their minds. Okay, Alex writing from but that is where the problem is now. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I love your program. Thank you very much. Okay, we love all of you too out there. Let us have a view of what happened in Douala last week, Hotel La Falaise, when Tex Global organized the Audacity.
Tex Group of companies.
Okay, it's Tex Group. Okay.
All the companies.
Okay, organized the Audacity
of Success.
Okay, let us see what happened. Very brief.
Audacity of success? Yes, to succeed. Audacity of success? Yes, to succeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for your time. It's been a wonderful day from 7 a.m. right about now, and we are wrapping it up. A big thank you to Mr. Mike Goldstein, Professor Molua, the Dio Abba Abdurrahman, Mr. Golov Jisong, all the high management team for Tech group of companies, and you, the most valued person today. I say I love you so much. This is just a beginning. We are going to make dreams come to reality. Yes. God bless you all. Cheers. And I love you, Cameroon.
Okay, it was a successful Audacity of Success program that took place. That was last week here in Douala. If you missed it, I'm sure you have yourself to blame because you were told, it was advertised, everybody knew of it. And those who actually are craving to become millionaires, billionaires, we are talking about investment. I think that was the rare opportunity to invest and to tap into what Mr. Teke is made of. You see, bringing people all the way from Nigeria. The registrar of the University of Boya, Professor Mulwa, was there to also share. So if you did not, yes, that's Professor Mulwa, and those who did not go there should have themselves to blame, and they should be looking forward to the next edition of Audacity that is supposed to take place. Is it Yaoundé or Bamenda?
I was still working on that, but there is an online session. I think Mr. Buji will talk more on the online session.
Yes, obviously, because of the cries of the people who are abroad, those who were, in fact, by the time the Audacity of Success was taking place, people were just calling me, please, can you put us online? But you know, we needed to do it in a way that everybody would be orderly. So after that, we had to plead with Mr. Teke and his team that please, our people in Dubai, our people in the US, in the UK, in South Africa, in other African countries actually want to have a test of the Audacity of Success, and obviously test the lion stew by Professor Mulwa. So things like the lion stew, that's a lesson that when you learn, you start manifesting the tendency of a lion. You go out there to conquer the world, to become successful. So because of that, we will be organizing the Audacity of Success online edition that is going to take place next month. Definitely, we are going to roll it out so you can get to us through our contacts and do a pre-registration. But by Monday, we will already release the information on how to get registered to the Audacity of Success online edition. If you are in Cameroon and you could not make it due to one or two reasons, then I am not sure you will not give any excuse for not being part of the Audacity of Success, because the online edition is for you. And even if you attended and you are not still satisfied, you can come and tap more.
Okay, so many of you are already writing how to get this book. Eli, let them. I have copies. You can. These are my copies. If you bribe me, I will give you the copies. Yes. So they are very limited.
Yeah. And there's a French version.
French and English.
There is this is the French version, and this is the English version. So if you need it, please call me after the program. I'm sure I will tell you where to get the books. In Bamenda, in Yaoundé, in Kumba, in Boya, and here in Douala. Please just get us, let us know. Mr. Teke, I want to end the program with you from wherever you are taking part from. Mr. Teke, now we are looking at making much money, creating wealth for ourselves, for our families, and everybody. Also to change the face of our communities, because it starts with wealth creation. Now we're talking about changing our mindset, also developing a discipline spirit, but we are also talking about dropping off certain habits that do not pay us, especially most of our social gatherings or social circles. Mr. Teke,
emotions.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
Yes. Money has emotions. So there are certain habits you will put up, it will cost money to run away from you. For example, there are certain social gatherings you have to avoid if you really want to make money. There are certain places you don't have to stay if you really have to make money. There are certain friends you don't have to have if you really have to make money. So the way a human being has emotions and we want to work with them so we don't tamper on their emotions, that is how we also need to deal with money if we truly have to keep this guy. The way I call it, I call money guy because I have a way I relate with money. I talk to money, I speak to money, I play with money, I give money instructions, I tell money what to do. And the money feels, money listens, money hears, money sees. And so your habits, the kind of habits you put up, the kind of character or attitudes you put up towards money can tell if money can come to you or money can leave you. Now, this looks like a mystery, but truth be told, it is created, it's a natural tendency that was created to be like this. For example, if you have the tendency of always sending money away, always driving money out of your sight. Now, someone may ask, how do I do that? By your insensate spending. Anytime money comes to your hand, you want to spend it to buy this, spend it to buy that. You don't have the tendency to keep money. Money feels unloved anytime it comes to your hand. What do I mean? If you take your salary, naturally, an average Cameroonian doesn't have the capacity to keep the salary for at least 3 days or 4 days before they start spending it. As soon as the salary gets into your hand, into your pocket or into your account, the next thing is we are making withdrawals. Thank God for ATM cards. You're making withdrawals and then you start buying things, start paying them, start doing this. When you do that to money, money says, hey, this guy doesn't love me. There's no need coming around him. And money runs away. But can you develop, grow to a level where you discipline yourself? No matter how much pressure I have on demands, when money comes into my hand, I will keep my money for 1 week before I start using it. I have a tendency, let me give the people that are listening to us the entire world, I'll give you my secret. I don't spend money at the beginning of the month. I take at least 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days before I start sending out money. What I'm saying is, money, this is the beginning of the month. I want more of you. Stay with me. Let's relate. And then we talk, we discuss for like a week. And then we put a program, a plan on how we can actually send the money I have in my hand to go out there and bring others. So at the end of the month, I realize that I'm having a lot of money than what I have spent because I have showed money that I love you so much and I want you to stay with me, don't go away. These are habits people have to learn, people have to copy. It's not a natural thing with the average Cameroonian, but this is what people have planned. It begins from your mind. Plan it like this and you're going to realize how much money you make for yourself. So, Mr. Leo, I want to give you just a few minutes. Let me explain something. Someone asked you about if Text Global buy people's business ideas. Yes. The answer is absolute yes. Now, there's a new program in Text Global or Text Group of Company we just introduced at the Audacity of Success. It is called Text Breed. Text Breed. Breed as in B-R-E-E-D. Now, what we do at Text Breed is whatever business idea you have, bring them to Text Breed. Register them at Text Breed. There's a team that will evaluate all the program, the business ideas, and then pick the best business ideas we have on that desk. We sponsor them. Now, the Text Breed is going to give you what is needed for your business to be sponsored because they will evaluate it. We have business people coming in, they evaluate the project, know exactly how much is needed for this project. They give you the money without interest. You go run your business, say for 1 year, for 2 years, get the capital, bring it back to the organization. The organization use the capital to sponsor another business. We started it at Audacity of Success. Now, this is our own little way of giving back to the society and helping those that think that they have all the ideas in this world, but they don't have money to sponsor their projects. Text Breed, what you have here, has come to solve that problem for them. I'm sure people we have in the studio can explain more about that. So it's no longer time for complaint. We are getting into a state in Cameroon where the narratives are changing, and our youth need to understand that we have stepped into the wealthy place in Cameroon. we have stepped into the wealthy place, and everyone needs to stand up and know that it is our responsibility. Take away the entitlement mentality, work yourself out, cut off certain bad habits, and put up the right character so that money can follow you.
Okay, Mr. Teke Samuel, I'm very happy of being a part of this program today. With the program, I'm very sure that many youths who ravish their money on beer parlors will grab some ideas on how to get money. Mr. Samuel, I would really like to have a copy of your book, please. I'm Simon Elangwe, writing from Kumba. I wish you all a splendid night there in the studio. Simon Elangwe, just call me after the program. You have the book. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I love your program. I'm Ashley, writing from Kumba. Good evening to you, Ashley. When you see Didi Bandiras, the owner of Banga School, tell him I send him greetings out there in Kumba. Greetings, Mr. Liu. This is Elan writing from Bamenda. Please tell me how to get the book here in Bamenda. Call me. We'll make arrangements. I'll tell you where to get a book in Bamenda tomorrow. Hi, sir. Good evening, sir. I need advice on how to succeed in life. I will really be grateful if you help me. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. In fact, I love your program and I wish to know if this program can be gotten from YouTube. Writing from Chang. Yes, go to BT Media BT Media YouTube page. You are going to get all our programs. BT Media Group YouTube page, you are going to get all our programs. Or you go to our Facebook page, My Media Prime, as it's written there. It's on screen there. You go to that page on Facebook, you get all the programs. Or you go to BT Media Group YouTube page, you get all the programs. Also, good evening, sir. What type of business can someone do with 200,000 francs? Is Steve Ange writing from Com. This one says, how much is the book, The Billionaire's Mindset? MacLeod writing from Douala. MacLeod called me after this. The seasons are 4-7 partner with God. Okay, we have to end at this juncture. We will say we are grateful to the Text Global team coming all the way from Boya to be part of this program, just because they want to change Cameroon, change our mindsets. But I also use the opportunity to those of you who joined us late. This is the award that was given to me on last Friday in Yaoundé. I was given this award as the best TV broadcaster for the last year. So saying that is because you guys have been encouraging us by watching the program and sending all these messages that we were able to win this. So I dedicate all of this to you all watching My Media Prime every day. I also dedicate it to the workers of My Media Prime. I dedicate it to the team producing this program. Prime R. Eli, thank you. Desmond, thank you. Bertrand, thank you. Tamai Jarvis, thank you. Kaiser Michelle, thank you. And the big boss, Tabi, Tame Bryant, and Madam, I say thank you. I dedicate all of this to you. Oh, no, I will not forget Junior and Prince at home. I also dedicate this to them. And also to my lovely wife, Cynthia. I say thank you too for always standing by us. And also thank you to you, Text Global Group. Mr. Teke, thank you for taking part in today's edition of the program.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leonard, and trust me, we are going to get you an envelope. Since that award did not give you an envelope, we are going to get an envelope for you.
Thank you. Thank you very, very, very much, and we hope that we'll continue our efforts. But please, if you do not yet have a copy of The Billionaire's Mindset, please get to us. We are going to give you one so that when you read it, you will know that things can happen. Yes, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leo. It's always a pleasure to come and share my ideas with our people and also learn from them. And at least the comments are coming. It shows that people are actually speaking of the rhythm. So many people travel from far and near and attended the Audacity of Success. I mean, people are getting enlightened. People are asking questions and seeking answers. And I think My Media Prime is doing an amazing job to enhance this. So let's keep doing what we are doing. And certainly we are going to leave the stage better than we met it.
And to you, thank you for coming, Mr. Buji.
It's always a pleasure being here. And to you out there, viewers, Thank you for watching, and thanks for your contribution. And I will challenge you to dare to succeed. Don't complain. And if you miss the physical event, don't miss the online edition. Please don't miss it, because there is no way you can survive with this in the 21st century with the mindset of the 19th or 18th century.
Okay, Miss Earl, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And to add to that, I'm inviting you all for a free event on the 30th of this month at Shep Academy in Boya. We're going to be talking about how to fund your dreams, and it's sponsored by Mr. Teke Samuel. So we're encouraging you to come, and as Mr. Buji said, keep daring to succeed, and let's change the narratives together.
Okay, Mr. Teke says there's going to be an envelope for this. If you think that, okay, you should, if you think that you should join him to put an envelope for this, I would not regret it. But Mr. Teke, thank you very much in advance.
All right, sir, you're doing a good job for us. Thank you so much too.
Okay, thank you to all of you who took time off to watch the program, the production team. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.
Amazing.